Hey there everyone, Storm here.
Yep, I see him running.
Like anyone actually knows who the fuck I am.
Dead.
There's been a lot of buzz about Hunt Showdown as of late, with the release of the PS4 version of the game coming out 2 months ago, as well as the popular gaming channels on YouTube such as Jack Frags showing it some love. I decided that perhaps it's time for me to jump on the bandwagon with a series of informational videos which I've never done in the past. These videos will provide some tips for new-time console players. Well, I'm not what you would call a god, with only about 150 hours played. I got a decent enough KD, and I can flick with the sparks.
Oh, yeah. Got it.
Oh yeah.
Ooh, that was a flick, dude.
Today, I'm going to cover the topics that many players are struggling with. PvP. And some of the nuances that go on with it in both bounty hunt and a little bit of quick play. The two are interchangeable often, minus the team fighting elements. So, if you see something here that only applies to bounty hunt, I'm sure it also applies to quick play. Please note that this guide assumes that you understand the basics of hunt, and that you've played the tutorial. If you haven't played the tutorial, or if you haven't bought this game at all and you're just trying to figure out if you'd like hunt, I'd suggest visiting the links in the description for a more in-depth, all-around guide to hunt. First up, we'll talk about body camping. Body camping is useless in quick play, as there are no teams. Bounty hunt, chances are, that single enemy that you absolutely fucking doinked on is not alone. When you kill an enemy, they go into a downed state, and while conventional weapons such as firearms and melee will not remove them the way God removes a 4-year-old anti-vaxxer child, fire will. One thing that I've learned is that even if a player is alone, always assume he has a friend close by. As much as you can, if you can't find his friend or friends, burn the body. This puts pressure on the opposing team to save their friend's hunter. If no fire is on hand, try to camp the body, or use something like sea wire or poison bombs to temporarily prevent someone from reviving their friend. A 3v1 seems almost impossible, but if you can even the odds by making a motherfucker Carol Baskin's first husband and preventing a revive, that makes your chances far better. Many players believe that burning bodies immediately is kind of a dick move, but hey, you paid for the game, play it however the hell you want to. There's also the question of when you have downed a player, do you keep your location or do you push up? In this clip, I'm a solo player on a duo's bounty hunt. I've just had a prolonged engagement with this team and I know they have shotguns. This is why I choose to stay put after downing the first enemy. My Vertelli is more suited for long range, and I have the enemy's body in my sights and it's likely they don't know where I'm at. This is playing to my advantage as a medium to long range hunter, and by negating the enemy's primary weapons, I have a far better chance of winning this fight. You'll also see that I'm engaging from a hidden position nestled in some trees. This is known as bush camping, and while some of the community don't find it very chill, it gives you a distinct tactical advantage for long range. They can't hit what they can't see. Though, you'll learn pretty quickly that that's not always the truth. But what happens if you both have long range or short range? Then it becomes your call, though several factors can shape what you choose. Accuracy of the enemy hunter, the enemy hunter's weapons, numbers advantage or disadvantage, and how many times have you hit the hunter. In this clip, my partner and I have been landing numerous shots with high-powered weapons at range. We know that they're using weaker firearms. In this case, the rifle category is Disabled Child, the Winfield. We know that there are 3, and we know that they aren't very accurate. And we also know that they've taken enough hits that any one of them could be a one-tap from death, as they've most likely ran out of healing items. This assumption is a dangerous one, as they could have any number of perks or consumables to keep them in the fight much longer. In this scenario, we did what I like to call an archer's offensive. One pushes up, and one stays back to provide constant pressure and covering fire for the approaching partner. As soon as one goes down, I use that to my advantage to push up and wipe the team. This doesn't work at all skill levels, but the aiming on PlayStation is still a little wonky, so I'm pretty comfortable executing maneuvers such as this. Next, we have what I call eliminating the weakest link. There are 3 tiers of hunters: white shirts, cowboys, and swamp monsters, or tiers 1, 2, and 3. While a hunter's physical appearance is not always an indicator of skill, I'd argue that there's a correlation between tier level, weapons, and skill. Eliminating the weakest link is dealing with the weakest hunters first. It's based on weapons, accuracy, and health. In this clip, I tag what looks like a swamp monster sitting on top of the roof, and then I spot a rather clueless looking white shirt, and then proceed to ventilate his skull.
That's dead.
Nice, there's another one though.
At this point, I watch as a cowboy runs in the opposite direction of the fight, and I nearly get ventilated myself by the
There's another
swamp
one.
monster.
Oh god.
As I
he's
retreat
hitting
to regain
sparks.
some health, I note that the cowboy is sending shots my way, but missing.
Another team coming.
Now I know the totem pole of the skill of the enemy
You
team.
killed that guy on
The swamp monster at the top, the cowboy,
There's two still up.
and then the white shirt.
One
You can
running
see
across the
here,
water,
I
two
decided to
running,
kill
three
the
running across
white
the
shirt
water.
first, and then
He's dead.
later
2-1.
engage the swamp monster. I literally have no fucking clue where the cowboy ended up going. Probably got killed by a water devil. Who knows?
Yep.
The totem pole also works in positioning. In this clip, I'm a solo in a duo's bounty hunt, and I watch as a white shirt runs past me. I assume that she is not alone, and while tracking her position, I slide off my perch. I hear another set of footsteps behind me and make the split-second decision to engage. By this point, the white shirt has gone far enough ahead, and the swamp monster will more than likely see me. After killing the swamp monster, I can reposition and practice my long-range lobotomy. Next up, we have some more solo playing tips that apply to both bounty hunt and quick play. This has to do with sound. Everything makes noise, from reloading to dark sight activation to switching weapons. Now, there is a hunt school of thought that believes that speed is more important than stealth, and I'm inclined to agree with them, but it is again your call. If you hear an enemy player's footsteps, hear a clue making its audio cue that an enemy is nearby, or a sound trap, I'd suggest dropping down to a crouch, raising your weapon, and listening closely. It may save your life. Such as in this case. I hear the fuse being lit on a firebomb, so I decide to clear the area and deal with the hunter. Based on my superb echolocation that would make the COVID-19 bat blush, I can also guess where this hunter is. There's also another way to use sound. You can hear an approaching hunter from a very far distance away, and by using traps, you can cut off this hunter's way of approaching. Such as in this case, I hear a swamp monster approaching very quickly from the ground floor, so I use a sea-wire bomb to stop her from approaching. This gives me two options. I can either hear her clearing the sea wire to attempt to approach from the inside, which would be a bad idea as it would give me lots of time to prepare and set up shots. Or she can attempt to use another way and make more sound, which would also give me time to prepare. I hear her attempt to break the sea wire and gives me more time to prepare more traps as well as listen to her next approachment. In this situation, she decides to start climbing the ladder, which is a big no-no, and I proceed to hop out the window with my first shot and then hit her with some buckshot. And also trap the ladder, because who doesn't like walking into a bear trap? This one should be a no-brainer. Hunters worth their salt will try and refrain from firing shots at ads, so if you hear a lot of shots in succession, chances are it's a fight. It's your call on how to deal with it. Also, a side note, don't loot out in the open. That's how you get fucking brained. Remember how I said you can't hit what you can't see? Well, yeah, that was kind of bullshit on my part. Hunt has an incredibly good lighting engine that allows you to see shadows peering through even the tiniest of cracks and at decent range too. I've been able to pinpoint the location of a hunter from over 50 yards away just from the disruption of light on the other side of a wall. I know what you're thinking. This is 1898. Were guns strong enough so that they could penetrate through solid oak walls? Maybe, maybe not. This is a video game. So, fuck your logic. Weapons, depending on ammunition, can penetrate through a number of materials. Compact ammo will penetrate through most lightweight wood walls at a steep damage drop-off. Shotgun shells will penetrate through wood walls, but only at point-blank range, though it keeps most of its damage.
Yeah, I've got his body on lock.
Medium ammo will penetrate through most wood and metal walls with medium damage drop-off. And long ammo will go through almost anything except stone and trees.
Shit.
And finally, the 500 nitro will damn near take the entire fucking wall with it. If you see a shadow through a wall, or a gun clipping through, or you hear a noise, don't be afraid to send a couple shots through it.
Got her.
It can and will often
Got
hit its
one.
mark. Thanks for watching. Remember to like and subscribe.
To the east.